Here's 5 essential steps that you need to complete before you can begin your facing operation. Well, first step, of course, if the bike is new to you, has a crank and a bottom bracket installed, don't assume it's correct. Just because the bike was together and seemed to be functioning properly doesn't mean it was functioning as well as it could function or how it's supposed to function. Just because it spins, as shown in an earlier video, doesn't mean it's right. It's a matter of how well it spins. Number 2, inspect and clean. They go hand in hand. If you ever wanted to know where all the damage on your car is, just wash it. You'll find every nick and scratch and dent. Same thing goes here. Even if it's brand new, we want to inspect and clean everything. So what am I looking for? Well, I'm looking for paint overspray, mainly. And I can already see there's paint overspray not only on the face of this bottom bracket, but down inside of the threads. So this bike was painted after the fact. Even though this is a bottom bracket centric video, the entire inspection process goes for anywhere bearings are going to sit or there's contact with the frame that needs to be aligned properly. So the headset bearings count here. And then over here, back in the flat brake mount, you'll notice that there's a ton of paint on that as well. These are gonna need to be touched up with a resurfacing. Number 3, tools you're gonna need, from the basics to the more advanced. A ratchet with a socket to interface with the bottom bracket. You're gonna need some cleaning supplies, of course. Clean Streak is a big favorite here, or denatured alcohol. You're gonna need a little lubricant, so we got a little Tap Magic right here. Feeler gauges to see if we need to face it at all. And then you'll see our good friends chasing tools for left and right hand thread. Make sure whatever chases you have are appropriate for the frame. And of course our cutting handles with our friend the guide rod to make sure that everything is gonna be done, everything's going to stay perpendicular. And a big one is, literally and figuratively, is the cutting tool for facing. Now it's important to go ahead and do a quick test fit of this to make sure it's not so big that the outer edges of it are going to start catching the frame somewhere, because some of these frames have strange offsets and asymmetries. So you always want to make sure that if you don't get in here and you start facing the frame, you're not, I don't know, cutting into it. Number 4, stabilize the frame. If you're going to be doing things like chasing and facing in these kind of big operations, you really do need a bike stand. I mean, you could do this, obviously, if it was sitting on the handlebars and the seat, you know, in your living room or whatever, and get away with it. But we do recommend stabilizing the frame and getting it up at eye level so you can see everything that you're doing for the best job. And step number 5 is know if you need to face the bike at all. And once again, this is a testing procedure. So the first part of the test is we are going to test fit the bottom bracket. All right, so if these don't thread in clean, we need to hear that on the mic right there. Oh gosh. So this needs to be chased. We need to chase it before we can test it to see if it needs to be faced. So those are the 5 essential tips to a facing operation that will lead to proper performance, long bearing life, and you getting the most out of your money and effort. Check out the link in our bio for BBInfinite.